Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Hall T. Martin, where we talk about how to raise funding and invest in startups and the time it takes to drink an espresso. If you have a question about startup funding or investing, please go to the website, startupfundingespresso.com, and type in your question into the chat bot in the lower right corner to receive an answer. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Hall T. Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot at startup funding and investing. In startup fundraising, many founders try to raise too much funding in the first round. This causes dilution for the founder as the valuation will be low. In startup fundraising, the first raise is a minimum round. Instead of raising everything you need to accomplish the goals, you should raise a minimal amount to get the initial product up and some revenue coming in. The startup's valuation will be at the lowest point in the life of the business, so it's best to raise the smallest amount possible. As the startup builds more product, team, and revenue, the valuation will rise. The majority of the funding comes later when the valuation is higher. This strategy reduces the founder's dilution. In structuring your fundraise, consider what can be done to generate the biggest bang for the buck with the least amount of funding. Then add more capabilities onto the product and more team members. By tranching out the product features, one can reduce the funding requirements. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start us into today. Hall T. Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early-stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinion of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon as a basis for investment decisions.